not nearly wide enough. It's a big problem. All right, how's everybody doing?
Yeah.
Oh, sounds like you're all having a shitty day. It's cool, it's only Wednesday. 2 more days to go. So how many people were here the last time I did stand up? Maybe 5? So you guys can cheer. So I did a joke the last time about how uncreative the names the Australian people have given to certain locations. And one of the names that I ragged on was everyone's favorite beach down the Mornington Peninsula called Safety Beach. Do you guys know that one? Does it make you feel safe? Turns out that joke was funnier than I thought it was. Because it was renamed Safety Beach. It used to be called something else. It used to be called Shark Bay. I learned this from a local down there. And what she told me was, all the fishermen used to go there and they would drop their used bait in the bay there, and all the sharks would come by and they'd eat it. So they named it Shark Bay, because there were lots of sharks. A really creative name, right? So then, years later, that practice stopped. And people started thinking, oh, we have this beach called Shark Bay, and there's no tourists here. What the fuck? So they decide they need to rename it to get tourists to go there. And what they want to instill is a sense of safety. So they renamed it Safety fucking Beach. Come on! Like, I'm really surprised the lack of creativity that it didn't get renamed something like definitely no sharks will eat you here, beach. Fuck. Yeah, so anyway, and a lot of you haven't seen me, but I'm American. Can you tell from the non-Canadian? You can tell from the accent a little bit? What laughter says, kind of. So Australia and the US took very different paths from breaking from our common parents, which was the United Kingdom, right? So the US was kind of like the bitchy, unable to control teenager. Like the parents were like, oh, you're gonna have to start paying rent. The US was like, fuck you! I don't want to pay rent. I want guns, and I want to be able to practice whatever religion I want. Fuck you, mom and dad. So we had a fight with the parents and fucking ran out and did our own shit for a while. Became pretty successful, but started defending mom and dad after we did steroids at the gym, fighting the Germans away because they were pestering our elderly parents. Twice. Fucking Germans aren't coming back there anymore, let me tell you. And that kind of adolescent attitude carried on throughout the US. You know, now we're still seem a little immature. You know? Have you guys noticed that? I'm like, no, fuck you, we don't need the metric system, imperial system's awesome, fuck you. Turns out it's not really. And then, yeah, fuck, what else? Oh, the Kyoto Protocol. No, we don't need to change anything. Fuck you, we're gonna pollute everything. What the fuck did you say, Iraq? I'll fucking come over there. Fucking, again. Fuck you. It's just like the immature bully, and that's pretty much what the US is. And then, on the contrary, there's Australia, which really didn't do anything, and isn't fully independent yet. So, Australia was more like the kid who just hung out in his room and would come out every once in a while and be like, Mom, Dad, is it okay if we trade lunch money with other kids during the playground? And every time you guys asked for something, your parents were like, yes, fuck, yes, you could have done that years ago. Mom, Dad, can we decide who we're friends with and you don't have to, like, approve it or not? Yes! Fucking Christ. I'm friends with whoever you want. And then, like, all I can think of is, and then there's Australia be like, oh, we're still gonna wear all the clothes that you gave us. That's a reference to your flag. Still is a Union Jack in there. And then, just, all I can think of is the royal family just being like, maybe we didn't push them hard enough. I don't know what we did. We keep hoping they'll move out, but still here, still asking us for advice. Do you think they'll ever be independent? We still don't know. So, just to jump topics a little bit, from politics to my personal life. Can I get personal with you guys? Because I feel like I trust you. Especially you, that red jacket. Is it okay? Is it okay if I make vicious eye contact with you through this bit? No. Look down. You know, I'm just kidding, I won't do that. That'd be really weird. So, I'm in kind of a personal hell. It's a lose-lose situation for the next 2 weeks. And here's why. My sister recently found out that she's gluten intolerant. And that means that the likelihood that I am is much higher. And I have a lot of the same symptoms that she had before she figured it out, which includes increased allergies, a constant headache, fatigue, and an inability to concentrate on anything. So, for the past week or so, I haven't had any gluten, which, I don't know, is anybody in here gluten intolerant? No. Okay, that's good, because I was really going to rag on anybody that raised their hand, because it fucking sucks. Like, that includes bread and beer. Now, you guys may not know this, but I fucking love bread. Like, I'm just like, oh, fresh bread out of the oven is fucking amazing, right? Put some butter on that, and you're, oh. The beer tasting events, you're just like, oh, I'm going to try all the beer. So, essentially, what I'm faced with is, if within this 2-week period, I feel amazing, and then I know that the rest of my life is gonna fucking suck, because I can't have beer, bread, or go out to eat and not be that douchebag that's like, oh, is that gluten-free? And I hate those people. Like, I don't want to be that guy. And then, on the other hand, I'll still feel like shit. So really, I can't win this one. But I'm leaning towards I want to keep feeling like shit and have it be something else. So I'm staying positive and hoping it's something like a brain tumor or cancer or something like that. Because then I can be like, oh, thank God, Doc. I'm fucking glad I'm not gluten intolerant. Go get me tons of bread and beer, because I'm going to enjoy the last bit of time I have on this earth so much. Which brings me to another lose-lose scenario. Because when I have, well, sometimes when girls have a few drinks, they get a little depressed. And they want a self-esteem boost. And then sometimes when I get a little drunk, I get very honest. And then these two people meet each other, and you guys know this is a recipe for disaster, right? Yeah. So, how many people have been faced with that question where a girl's like, what am I on a scale of 1 to 10? I mean, I'm a 10, right? Right? I'm a 10. Right? Has anybody else been asked that? Yeah, a few people. And then the girls are all like, we're all 10s, right? Let me tell you how my scale works. Okay? 10 is unattainable. There is no such thing as a real live 10. 10 is perfection, right? So there's no such thing as a 10. You can aspire to be a 10, but you'll never be a 10 because nobody's perfect. So you're not a 10. So don't ever ask me if you're a 10, because the answer is no. 9s, if you have done anything in your life to succeed besides look pretty, you are not a 9. Okay? Which brings us to 8s. Now, if you're having this breakdown where you need self-esteem and you need assurance that you're beautiful, and you're asking me, and it's not Brad Pitt and George Clooney spoon-feeding you grapes, and you're probably not an 8. Which means you're probably in the 7s. And then when they're all like, oh, tell me I'm a 10, and I'm like, oh, you're really, really good looking. 7.2. That offends people, because not everyone has the same scale. It's different. They expect that they are a 10. I feel like every girl is like, oh yeah, but in reference to me being perfect, where am I? That's not how this works. It's in reference to everyone. So my friend actually came up with a solution to this problem. It's a binary system, right? It conveys all that. There's no lack of interpretation. There's only 2 ratings. You're a 1 or a 0. 1 being yeah I would, and 0 being no way. So it conveys. I mean, right? That's all the girl's asking for is. And then, like, girls set in their head their own, like, fuckable threshold, right? They're like, oh, if he says above an 8.2, that means he's into me. But no, that's confusing, because then you don't know where my 8.2 fits on your scale. If it's 1 and 0, we know. We're fucking right here. Except most girls don't understand the binary system. So like, you're a 1. It really doesn't go over well, right? But it's a very good system. I think we should adopt it. So, I tend to be a bit narcissistic in relationships, and I think it's really starting to impact my ability to have a meaningful relationship. So I'm trying to correct this. And obviously I'm looking for a solution that doesn't involve me changing because I'm perfect. So I figured out that there is a possibility for hope where I don't have to change. All I have to do is date a girl with the same name as me. Which is possible with a name like Sam. Because now, when I look at her and I say, Sam, you're beautiful, it's not awkward. And she'll think I'm talking about her. And then, you know, same thing works in the bedroom. You'll be like, Sam, you are amazing. You're so good at sex. This is awesome purely because of things that you are doing, Sam. You are incredible. And then, tomorrow, which is Valentine's Day, right? You guys know that? It's here as well, because the US is the same. Because Mother's Day is not, I didn't know that. So, look that one up. And now, if I were in this situation, I could look at her in the eyes, caress her face, and honestly say, Sam, I love you more than anything else in the world. All right, you guys have been great. That's about it today.